Today I want to talk about this cute little plane I ordered from Veritas or Lee Valley. As you can see, if I move this out of the way, it comes from a long line, a heritage of hand planes that look pretty similar. The common theme with all of these is that the bevel is up on the iron instead of facing down as it would be on a traditional plane. The other common feature is there's really no cap iron on this iron because the bevel is up and there's really no place for the cap iron. So they're kind of unique, but these planes have a purpose. And I just wanted to go through the process of setting this up and putting it to use. Now, I've not touched this. I just took it out of the box. So I'm getting ready to take the blade out, put it in or sharpen it and then put it in, and we'll see what we can do with it. So the first thing I'll do is I'll take off the lever cap, set that aside, and they ship with a nice little cardboard spacer, so we can put that aside. Now the blade I ordered is a what they call a PMV-11. It's a powdered metal steel that tends to hold up a little better than 01 steel, which is another option for the blade. So I just chose the PMV-11. See if I can get this open here. And it comes with a nice little instruction sheet that talks about how their blades are lapped, meaning they're ground flat, so you don't have to do a whole lot to prepare them for use. So there's our iron. Now these are ground at a 25-degree bevel, and that's how they'll sit in the plane. So the combination of the 25-degree bevel and a 15-degree bed angle gives you a 40-degree angle of attack on the wood. So it kind of mimics the same angle you would get with a bench plane, which is kind of nice. All right, so if we look at this real close, you can see that the back is lapped. It's got kind of a gray cast to it. So in theory, we shouldn't have to flatten the back before we sharpen the bevel. But I'm kind of old-fashioned, so I'm going to do that. I'm just going to polish off the back near the cutting edge, and then I'm going to touch up the bevel, and we'll put this thing to work and see what we can do with it. This particular plane has a what's called a Norris style adjuster, and its function is to both increase or decrease the depth of the blade from the bottom of the plane, and it's also used to position the blade laterally, keeping the cutting edge parallel with the bottom of the plane. So when I stick this blade back in, I'm going to put the bevel up, and then there's a pin on the adjuster that engages the blade. Now, one other feature this plane has is an adjustable mouth. So if I loosen this knob and adjust this screw here, that's a stop screw. So let me take this blade back out for a second. You can see how the mouth opening changes. So once I get the blade in, I'm going to adjust that for a very fine mouth opening so that I can take really thin shavings with it. So I've got my lever cap, the front of the lever cap's parallel with the edge of the blade. Now I can go and adjust the mouth. So if I slide that in, you can see that I'm hitting the blade, and the blade is a little bit tilted. So I line that up parallel, and then I just move that mouth in and tighten this knob here, and then turn in this little stop right here. What that does is protects you from damaging the cutting edge by trying to move the mouth in too tight. So I've got that set. I think we're ready to give it a shot and see how it does on a piece of wood. So I've sharpened the iron, got it in the plane, and I've got it roughly adjusted. Now my technique for adjusting the depth is to take repeated strokes and just gradually turn the adjustment knob to the right, just a hair, so that it advances the blade, and I just keep doing that until I start to get some shavings. So I think that's pretty good. Now the question comes up, why would you need a small plane like this? Well, if we compare the size of this to a standard block plane, You can see it's very similar in size. Here's another version of a block plane, just a hair larger. So you could think of this as a block plane with handles. And it comes in handy, for example, if you want to cut some chamfers on the corner of a workpiece. Gives you more control. You can maintain a consistent angle. So you just keep working that corner until you get a nice chamfer. So these planes, you know, even though it looks a little strange, believe it or not, because of its size, it actually works to its advantage. So I hope that you can give it a try and see how it does in your workshop.